Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I just am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives and to teach us how to become spiritual beings. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cousins in the same sentence. And I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlemagne the God, it will not stop me. Y'all, I'll be honest. I have been trying to slow down my speaking. It has not been working. It just ain't been working, but that's okay. I'm going to get it together. All right, God, guardian angels, ancestors, we come to you today as humbly as we know how to say thank you. God, give us the information that we need to know to become the alchemists of our lives. What's a mantra that we should keep on our mind? Allow no room for doubt and confusion. In God's name I pray, Ashe. The message that God wants us to focus on is, I open myself up to the power of the sacred goddess energy that resides within me. Ooh, I love that. And the last thing is, I take bold action in all areas of my life. I feel like this message just right away. These are actually Debbie Brown's, her Karma Bliss. They're really cute cards. I open myself up to the power of the sacred goddess energy that resides into me. I don't know about you guys, but I know for myself, I am actively trying to tap into my divine feminine energy just a little bit more. I am an Aries. If I tell you guys all of my stuff, you will be like, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm an Aries sun, Libra rising, Sag moon. So a lot of Mars, a lot of fire, very, aggressive. I love to get shit done. But I'm realizing that there's beauty in like the surrender. There's beauty in slowing down. There's beauty in resting. And what I have been learning is that, well, what I know for sure is that as divine beings, we all have masculine and feminine energy. And for a very long time on this plane, masculine energy has been celebrated. Masculine energy is the way that the world has been moving. But as we're moving into the Aquarius age, which is an air sign, we're moving into more of the divine feminine way of being. And so I say that to say that the way that you're going to attract things in your life is going to be differently than how you've done it before in the past. I feel like a lot of people have been able to wheel their manifestations in. They have been able to work their way to get the things that they want. And I'm not saying that it's going to be impossible, but I do feel like you're going to get challenges. You're going to be very challenged this year and beyond if you don't learn how to let go and to surrender. While I was doing a lot of messages last year, what kept coming up was this thing about our mindset, changing our mindset. And I told you guys, it birthed a newsletter for Honestly Sis, and I'm challenging everybody to do this positive thinking challenge. And from there, I was challenged to like, well, if I'm asking them to do this, then I need to, help them be accountable. And so God was like, well, you need to do these checks. You need to be doing these events. And like, mind you, I have so many ideas. I've been wanting to do events for a while, but I just was like scared, honestly, just like, well, what if don't nobody show up? What if people think this is stupid? Fear. And it was just like, for some reason, it was just on me, like, no, like you have to do this. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. Like I put it in my mind. I wrote it in the letter. I'm going to do honest chats. And angel number 432. And then I was like, so what the fuck are these, what are these honest chats? And at first I initially was just gonna, have a little Zoom meeting. We can talk for a minute every month and call it a day. But then it was like another idea kept coming and it was like, no, you should reach out to people. You should, but I was scared. And so one day I just woke up and it was on me, and it was just like, you got to reach out to this girl, that the one who's the astrologer. And I reached out to her and she said yes, and that she would do it. And like, I was like, okay, perfect. And I was like, okay, well, we'll talk when it get a little closer to the event. And so like, she said yes. And then another girl said, because I was challenging myself for the whole first quarter. So I had like 2 people booked. I had one more person that I just needed to confirm. But then I was like, oh shit, like, but what we gonna do? Like, okay, I have these people, but what's the structure? And I was like just walking Cuddy one day, and like literally it just came, and like I had started, I remember it, I was walking Cuddy, I think I was listening to a podcast or something, and like I could feel my mind like thinking and, you know, coming up with stuff. And so I turned the podcast off and I was just walking Cuddy, and like it just came to me like, do this, like literally the structure just like came in my head, and I was like, okay, perfect. And so when it was time for me to have the conversation with the girl, I literally told her the information that was channeled to me, and like me and her flow, she loves it, she thinks it's a good idea, and like the first event is all booked and ready to go. Now it just has to happen, you know, I just have to see how the tickets and stuff goes. But I say all that to say, like, everything, like even down to like these YouTube videos, articles for Honestly Sis, and all of this has kind of been divinely given. And it's been like, God will tell me, well, do this. And I'll be like, okay, and I'll do it. Or I'll be like, okay, God, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, but I don't know how to do it. And God will be like, this is how you do it. And I feel like that's the divine feminine way of like waiting and listening and getting instructions, and not just getting instructions, but acting on those instructions and taking bold action. Like, I feel like a lot of us, we hear God talk all the time. Angel number 658. And like, we hear it and we just, bloop. Like, you know, you have ideas, you have things that you can do. I know that was me all last year. Well, you should do this, you should do that. Like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. Bloop. And then talk myself out of the reasons why I can't do it. But I was having a conversation with Des, and we were talking about how she was like, I don't know a lot of people who blindly follow their intuition. And she was just telling me how like, you know, she was in California, she had this one type of career, and like she got this urge to leave and she followed it. And then she got the urge to move again and she followed it. And she like, you know, I'm probably making the least amount of money I ever made in my life, but I've never been more happier. And like, I don't even think she was realizing, but her just speaking to me was confirming to me like, oh, okay, like, yeah, if you trust your intuition, it'll help. Like, it'll lead you to places. And I really genuinely feel that is the divine feminine energy. That's your goddess energy. And we all have it in us. Males, females, him, them, she's, whatever the fuck you want to identify as. We all have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. And I just feel like in order to be successful in this next round of life, you have to learn how to work with that energy. You have to learn how to work with the divine. Because God, I just feel like this part of our life is God is reminding you he's fucking God. Like, I feel like as humans, that's how we gotten ourselves into this. That's why the world is the way it is, because we forgot that we're spiritual beings. We forgot that, you know, we're here for a greater purpose. We're not here to be slaves. We're not here to be, you know, charging to a matrix. Like, we're here to be divine beings. And I just genuinely feel in my heart and my soul that God is going to remind the world who the fuck he is, because niggas forgot. Like, I genuinely feel like God is like, niggas been sleeping on me, and I'm about to remind y'all who the fuck I am. Like, he's not playing out here. And like, I'm so excited, and I'm so just like I wish I could feel this energy in my body, but like, God is just, if you've never in your life trusted God, like I get it, Black people, like I understand why Black people don't trust God. Like, I understand why Black people are like, bitch, fuck the spirituality shit. We literally had, you know, the Bible fed to us to beat and enslave us, and then somehow we took on this religion and kept it going. We've literally had, you know, preachers and all of these things molest and abuse our communities. We've had, you know, people in our household who call themselves saints and call themselves Christians, abuse us, neglect us, and do everything unlike a Christian. We have been into church houses and felt ostracized and put aside and all of that stuff. And I'm just going to say it here now. This is the era of no motherfucking church. We are in no church in a while. God is coming. That's why the church was the first fucking thing. Like, why do you really think COVID? Let me not go on my fucking spiritual conspiracy shit, but like, church was one of the first things that got shut the fuck down. And it's because God is like, oh, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you who God is in this bitch. And I just feel like if you haven't trusted God, I want you to think about why you don't trust God. And I want you to ask yourself, do you genuinely have a relationship with God? Do you genuinely have a reason to be like, well, God told me this and then he left me out in the cold? Do you have that? Or do you know the God that your mama, auntie, grandma, and them were preaching to you? Because I'm here to tell you, them niggas was lying. They lied. All of this bullshit. I don't believe in that Adam and Eve story of Eve, stealing the fucking fruit. That was a lie. Why the fuck would God put them in a garden and then tell them not to eat the fucking fruit? Why would God put his kids somewhere and then punish them? Like, all of that was just a lie to make us feel like God is like this vindictive person and like he's out here trying to control us and be a master. God don't give a fuck about God. That's how you know it's man-made. Because if you're powerful, if you're a lion is not going around saying to people in the jungle, hey girl, I'm a lion. Hey, what's up, bitch? I'm a lion and this motherfucker respect me. No, a lion just shows up and niggas move. A lion just shows up, everybody get the fuck out the way because the lion's here. Same thing with the fucking shark. The shark get in the motherfucking ocean and then bitches just scatter because they know what the fuck they here to do. You think God got time to be proving who the fuck he is out here? No, he's just moving. He's just moving out this motherfucker. Anyways, I digress. No church in a while. That's all I'm saying. This church stuff, all of this stuff is about to break down. I now don't say this to scare you, but it has to break down to build something new. And in order to not get caught up in the chaos, and I swear to God, like let me stop swearing to God, but I swear, like I would like watch the news and like I would be like depressed, like God, this is impossible. Like I watched the news, I think I was like super plugged into the news, and then I watched Don't Look Up, and I'm like, God, this is where we are. Like they won't look up. Like oh my God, we gonna die. Like there's like a meteor. Like this is ghetto. But I have to remember that's a trick. That's the program. That's the propaganda. That's to get me disconnected to my goddess that's inside of me. Engine number 1250. So this message is just coming about because I feel like what God wants you to know is that we are moving into the divine feminine way of divine feminine way of being. And in order to thrive in a divine feminine way, you need to learn how to work with the divine side. You need to learn how to be a receiver, how to open and how to give. Okay. I live my life courageously and passionately finding joy in everything that I do. And that's what this divine feminine, you allow joy to lead. You allow your passions to lead. Last thing, about, opening yourself up to the power of your sacred goddess within you. I really want you to understand that you get information from God all the time. Your intuition gives you information all the time. And the only way to strengthen your intuition is to do it. Is to move without thinking about it. Like, you just got to do that shit. Like, don't second guess yourself. Last thing, I stand in my truth and communicate my beliefs effortlessly. And I feel like that's God is not being mad at me for saying that. Like, there's no church in a while. I really wanted to... I didn't even get to have that conversation with her. I really wanted to name the first honest chat, no church in a while, because I just feel that in my spirit that God don't fuck with the church. Like, I feel that in my soul. Like, God does not fuck with the church. None of them motherfuckers. He don't like them. He don't like them. I'll be honest. He don't fuck with them. He don't fuck with them. I'm like, he don't. I was like, oh my God. I was in my car and I was just like, I'm like, oh God. I think I was listening to No Church in a While. I think I was listening to Watch the Throne or something. And I just felt that so strongly. I'm like, oh, God don't fuck with the church. I do not like the church. Like, I just feel like they liars. They liars. I got an article on Sis about it. Anyways, Off my soapbox, I open myself up to the power of the goddess energy. I opened myself up to the power of the sacred goddess within me. The Ten of Pentacles came out. And I can't remember if it came out reverse. I'm not going to take it reverse right now. But this is what God is trying to get you to understand. The Ten of Pentacles, as you can see, this is talking about total abundance. There's literally money falling in the sky. There's this woman with her husband and her kids. Their grandmother is there giving knowledge to the pets because she's connected to the animal kingdom. And I just feel like this is what God is trying to get you to understand. Like, when you tap into your sacred goddess energy, you're going to tap into your natural abundance. Like, it will lead you where you need to go. Another thing that me and Des was talking about last night is we were talking about the Matrix, and we were talking about how, you know, the Oracle, she never told she never told Neo what he needed to hear. I mean, she never told Neo the truth. She told him what he needed to hear. And I feel like a lot of ways that's how our intuition works. It doesn't tell us the truth. It doesn't tell us, well, you're going to be this, is going to be that. It just tells you to go do things. And so God may tell you to walk to your intuition may tell you to run into this, run to an abandoned building, or run to this house that's on fire. And you may be like, why the fuck am I running to a house that's on fire at your number 1620? But you don't know that by you going to the house that's on fire, you're actually going to end up saving somebody along the way. Or you're going to get that cat that just jumped out the thing, and now you're going to be its new guardian. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that you're not going to know until you know. So you need to step into your divine feminine energy, listen to your intuition, and allow it to guide and lead you. Last thing for this, I take bold steps in all areas of my life, is the world. And that's what God is trying to get you to understand. He's trying to get you into this new cycle, this new way of being in the world, a way where you can trust God. You can trust how life is going to move. And I feel like that's what we don't understand. Like, the people that we see that are so confident and that they look like they're like tapped into, you know, this otherworldly energy, is because they are connected to themselves. Like, they trust themselves. Let's just be honest. Like, the most confident people in the world are the people who trust themselves. The people who are, and what I've been realizing and what God has actually been like ministering to me is that power is not loud. I think we've been tricked and fooled to believe that, oh, if you gotta be, you know, if we wear, you know, a lot of jewelry, or if we are flashy with our clothes, then that means that, you know, we're peacocking, or we're, you know, being niggerish, or whatever the fuck it is. Like, no, that just means that we're standing into our royal power. But I feel like what God is saying is like, power is subtle. Like, it just goes back to that lion. If you're a lion, you don't need to walk in a room and tell everybody you're a lion. You just walk in that motherfucker and everybody bows down because they know who the fuck you are. You are the king of this kingdom. And so I feel like that's what God is trying to get you to understand. We don't need to be out here in this world trying to prove our worth, trying to get people to understand us, trying to get people to buy into what we're doing. We just do what the fuck we do, and everything, they're going to naturally know, oh, this is what she's here for. The world don't know nothing. The world don't know what it wants until we decide this is what you should have. This is how you should operate. And if I'm being completely honest, the world doesn't know what it wants because they are so disconnected within themselves. But when you connect to yourself and you produce something from God himself, the world is going to recognize that light, and like a moth to the flame, everybody's going to gravitate towards it. I just feel like what God is trying to get you to understand is that you don't chase a goddamn thing. You don't get nobody to buy into you. You don't buy an audience. You don't have to, you don't perform. If you believe that you are the greatest artist in the world, or you want to be the greatest, what you do, you don't spend your energy telling people, I'm great, I'm this, I'm rich, I'm powerful. No, you spend your energy putting the time, effort, and intention into becoming the greatest in the world. And so when you show out, when you put your shit out in the world, they will automatically know it. They will automatically be like, that's the greatest motherfucker in the world. They got something going for herself. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to an interview about Zendaya, and it was on A Sip with Issa Rae. And Zendaya was talking about how she had to make this transition from a kid role to more, more racier roles. And she realized what she did was she decided to do it through clothing. Because if people perceive you different or people see you differently, then they will approach you differently, right? She didn't go into these rooms being like, oh, motherfucker, you need to see my work. I'm the best actress there. No. She literally like, I'm going to show you I'm a grown-ass woman. And then when I get those roles, when I get in a room, I'm going to put all my time in it and I'm going to show you. Like then I'm showing you and then I'm going to show you just through my work, through my actions, through who I am. And it worked for her. She was able to make those transitions, and then she not only was able to get the roles that she wants, but because she actually loved her craft, she was able to get those roles and then expand to who we know who she is today. But it didn't happen because she went into rooms being like, I'm a grown-ass woman. Y'all need to give me grown-ass roles. She was like, oh, y'all think that I'm a kid? I'm going to show you I'm not a kid. And so she went to events that she wasn't necessarily supposed to be at. And she would come dress the fuck up to the 10s, to the 9s. And then the world would see her as a grown-ass woman. And then people would see her as a grown-ass woman. And then they say, oh, wait, she's a grown-ass woman. And they approached her differently. So I guess what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you don't need the world to buy into who you want them to be. You buy into it yourself. You pour all your time, your effort, your intention into crafting that person that you want to be, tapping into your goddess energy, tapping into that, really pouring into yourself, connecting to your intuition, connecting to your spiritual team. And then when you walk into the room, when you take those bold steps, the world will see you as who you want them to see and not as what they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? Whew! I personally love that message, but it may go over the head for some of you guys. The last message that came out is with the I stand in my truth. It's like when I stand in my truth and communicate my beliefs effortlessly. What God is trying to get you to understand is that as you stand in your truth, everybody's not going to believe you. Everybody's not going to believe you. Everybody's not going to buy into it. There may be certain things that you need to let go and let behind, and it's going to hurt. God's not saying that it's not going to feel bad to leave certain things behind. And so often we talk about the people we need to leave behind, but what about the behaviors? What about the defensiveness? What about the insecurity? What about, you have to realize like, okay, if I really want to become this person, this embody this energy of the 10 of Pentacles, of the goddess, then what attitudes am I going to have to let go to become that? Oh, I'm going to have to stop being a people pleaser. Oh, I'm going to have to stop being so insecure in my body. Oh, I'm going to have to stop comparing myself to everybody. And that's going to hurt. It's not going to hurt just because you need to let those behaviors go. It's going to hurt because you have to recognize, oh shit, I was a people pleaser. I was this. You got to take accountability for it. But the beauty is that once you grieve that, you can turn and you can pick up your 2 cups and start walking towards the direction of what you do want to be. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm going to stop right there. I actually really, really love this message because what God is just trying to get you to understand is that as you become one with your intuition and as you become one with Him, it will naturally open up your world and attract all the resources and things to you. All right, I'm actually going to leave you guys with a Sufi. I really, really love that message. Oh, it was just like confirmation to me. Thank you, God. Because it's like, I guess He's just trying to get you to understand, like, it's not about, you not being in the right room or you having the resources, but it's really about like that tapping into that divine feminine energy and knowing that you have the power to change your life. Like, I really feel like that's what He's trying to get you to understand. I exude an energy of strength and calm while experiencing moments of change. See, this is about, again, you going through these transitions and you showing people how you want to be presented in the world. I really feel like that's the message there. You work on yourself. You become confident and connected to the sacred goddess within you. And then the world will see you in that way as you take bold actions in your life. Okay, God, clarify this message of opening ourselves up to our divine, sacred goddess energy, taking bold actions, communicating our truth, communicating our beliefs. I guess I'll leave that there. Communicating our beliefs. I should just take this, I guess. I don't want to take it. But what pop, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to put this back. If it's our card, it'll come back out. Angel number 2522. Determination. The perseverance leads to fortune. So what God is saying is if you continue to pour into yourself, you continue to focus on yourself, you continue to become the lion on the inside, all those things will naturally, all your resources will naturally come to you. God is really trying to get you to understand that the way that you really make true change in your life is on the inside. And then the universe and the world has no choice but to reflect that to you. So don't worry about the outside. Thank you, God. Okay. Final shuffle. Clarify this message of Ten of Pentacles, the World, Five of Cups. What do you want us to understand about tapping into our sacred energy, taking bold actions in our life, and communicating our truths and beliefs effortlessly? Allow no room for doubt or confusion. I'm going to take the top card. Free will. What was at the bottom? Self-creation. Be the author of your own life. I love that. Again, remember, all of this was all about God telling you that you have the power on the inside. True change starts on the inside and bloom outwards. But the card that we're going to focus on is free will. Get out of your cocoon. Free will. Get out of your cocoon. Free will, get out of your cocoon. Deep in the sea are riches beyond compare, but if you seek safety, it is on the shore. My dear friend, you are living in a time when many new experiences, opportunities, energies, and growth possibilities are available to you. Remember this card? Okay. I just want y'all to just remember, connect the dots. All right, my dear friend. You are living in a time when many new experiences, opportunities, energies, and growth possibilities are available to you. Staying too long within the limits of what is perceived as safe grounds breeds weariness. The only way to participate in the new is to get out of the routine of old energies and pathways. The Oracle has a great message for you. The secrets of the kingdoms are deep within you. The treasures of your own potentials are just waiting to enrich the experiences of your life. If you are reluctant to try something new or hesitant to take a risk, you will be left on the shore and miss the fun of being creative and developing your abilities. Circling around, using the same processes and getting the same result means you are just repeating an old pattern. Let's say that again. I feel like I need to say that louder for the people in the back. Hold on. Circling around, using the same processes and getting the same results means you are just repeating an old pattern. Simply change your intention to focus on where you would truly like to go in your life. Sufi wisdom is about surrendering with joy and trusting that you will safely land where you are focusing. Making changes can help you reach your goals and work past anxieties and growth as a result. Your mantra for this week is, I will emerge from my cocoon of safety I have built around me and spread my wings to try something new that will help me live a more creative life. And so I feel like what God is saying is that if you have kind of been in a drought, if you've been kind of feeling like, you don't feel like a goddess, you don't feel like you're any closer to your dreams, you don't even feel like it's even possible to live the life of your dreams, I want you to get out of your cocoon, to get out of your rut, and to do something different. Even if you just do one thing differently. If you just read a book. If you just go to one yoga class, online, offline, whatever. But you have to do something different so that you can become differently in the world. Because true change starts on the outside and bloom out. All right, y'all. That's all the messages I have for you. Agent number 2934. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message, please hit subscribe. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never, ever let the internet rush you. And never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Mwah! I shall see you next week, kids. Take care.